All right, welcome back, guys. Nick Layton here, and we're taking a look today at the fantastic Vivian Campbell and his solo in Holy Diver, of course, from the legendary Ronnie James Dio's band, the solo band. This is from the title track of that album, and this is a solo I have actually never learned before, so this was fun doing this, and I'll be straight up from the top with you guys. This is my kind of compilation version of taking various things that I could get from the the recording itself is where you go first, and then you check live footage and check some different versions out that people have played. So I've done all of that and come up with pretty much my own way of doing this that's, I'd say, 95% like Vivian did it. So I'm not here to say this is exactly note for note the way to play the Holy Diver solo, but this will get you 95% of the way there, and that's what counts. All right. So there's a fast lick at the very end, which I kind of did my own way. I have a tab for this, which you can find in the description below. My own handwritten tab, and on that I may have written it slightly different than I played it, which just goes to show that's such a fast little lick that it doesn't really matter the exact notes you play as long as they're in the right key, but kind of where you begin and when you come out. So I'll explain that when we get to it. Everything else is pretty spot on as far as I can tell. So we'll get cracking on that in just a sec. If you're new to my channel and you have not subscribed, please do to get more content like this. Also, in the description box, I've got a free sweet picking guide for you arpeggio and sweet picking maniacs. You can check that out down below. All right, so let's get cracking on this. This is in the key of C minor. C minor. We often play in C major, but very rarely do you have C minor unless you're into the modern metal stuff, which tunes down to C quite a bit. But in this case, we're just flat out C minor. So you can kind of think of your pentatonic scale starting at the 8th fret on the low E string. And a lot of it's going to be what we're going to play. It's kind of right around in there. Also, the natural minor scale. Okay, so if you think about the natural minor scale starting at C on the 6th string, or this pattern, I think Vivian was pretty old school when it came to these types of things. Wasn't one of those 3-note per string shredder kind of dudes. He would use, a typical position like this one, just which is sort of a combination of the pentatonic scale and the natural minor scale in the key of C here. And then there's a section where it goes up higher, playing up around the 15th and 18th fret, and that's basically out of this position. Minor pentatonic scale and natural minor, or pentatonic scale there. So those two patterns are going to be super good for you to know going into the solo. So with that, let's get cracking. The rhythm chords behind it are kind of doing this stop time thing where they're going. Okay, so the solo actually begins with the rhythm, and then the first lick comes in. Pretty aggressive, bluesy type lick here. Double stop on the 10th fret on the G and B string. Give it a slight tweak, and then pull off to the 8th fret on the G string. They're going to play 10 on the G and then 8 again and give that a little tweak. So again, you're starting the lick after the beat. Okay, heavy vibratos. Okay, and then we're going to play more double stops, which means playing 2 notes at the same time. Starting on the 8th fret D and G, slide back to 7, slide back to 5 on the D and G, and then pick it again. Okay, so, whoops. Then we're going to play 8 on the A string, 8, 6, 5 on the A string. And there's a lot of pick harmonics in this solo. This solo might be the poster child for pick harmonics. Okay, as we get going, you'll see there's tons of them. So, you know, feel free to really be aggressive with the pick harmonics, and of course use your own best judgment of when to play them and when not to. But like for instance, that's a nice spot for one. Anyways, there's going to be a lot more coming, so let's check this out. Okay, then we're going to slide up here from basically on the A string, slide into 10, and then play 8 on the G and back to 10 on the A. And then again, we're playing a double stop, so 8th fret D and G. Whoops. And then move back to 7 D and G and play that 3 times. Okay, next lick. More pick harmonic madness. All right, super cool, aggressive. Vivian Campbell was on fire during this era. Not that he's not a good player now, he is, but during this era, man, he was ripping, really aggressive. And this, even a simple pentatonic lick here, it's got a lot of fire to it. So what it is 8 on the D, and then 2 on 2 hits on 10th fret D string. So I'm kind of muting that a little bit. Now we're going to descend the blues scale, starting at 8 on the D string, 10, 9, 8 on the A, 6 on the A, and then we're going to bend 8 a whole step and return it. Again, more pick harmonics there if you like. Okay, so let's put all this together, what we have so far. Okay, next note, another pick harmonic. This is at the 5th fret on the G string. Okay, pick harmonic there. Then we're going to be changing positions. So, as I told you earlier, we're going to be playing up here on the 18th, 15th fret. And we're just going to kind of, on the demo, I slid into it. I think it sounds cool to do that, but the end result is that you're bending 18 up a whole step. And then you kind of lower that note. And as you come down, you're going to play 16, 15 on the high E, 16, 15 on the B, 18, 16, 15 B, so, and then 18 high E, 16 B, 15 B. So that whole thing is, and that note kind of hangs there for just a second with the heavy vibrato, and then we're going to play this lick. Okay, so what's going on here is we're playing 15, 16, 18, picking 15, 16, 18 on the high E, and then reversing that lick and pulling off 18, 16 to 15, and then 18 to 16 to 15 on the B as well. You could actually pick most of that if you wanted to, or I'm not sure exactly what I did on the demo, but something like that, where you're picking the first 6 notes and maybe pulling off the next 3 and then picking the last 3, something like that. The end result is that you have these notes. Okay, and so when you come out of this, you're going to play 17, 15, 17 on the G. And give this a big bend. So we're going to go up a step and a half to that E flat note there. And then play 15G, 17D, and back to 15G in heavy vibrato. Okay, and then moving on to the next section, we have lots of muting going on this time. We're playing now in the 8th position. So we just came out of this. Now we're going to play this. That's going to set up our next lick. But first we're going to play, we'll go over this lick here. So it's... So what's going on is 8, 9, 8 on the B, 8G, 11B, back to 8G, 7G. Then we're going to go 10, 8, 7 on the G. And then 10D. All right, so the important thing, I think, to get the timing of this right is to recognize that the lick starts just after the beat. So you get 1, 1, 1, 1, and. So it's be on the end of 1, I think. Yep. And so that, to get the timing of this correct, that's what you want. Slightly after the beat when you start the lick. Okay, and so we have the 10th fret here. So we're going to play the 10th fret on the D string twice. 3 on the 7th fret G. 3, 8th fret on the G, and then on the 3rd time with the G, on the 8th fret G, slide that up to 10. So Let's see. And then pick 10 again. All right, so that whole lick would sound like this. One more time. All right, we're getting there. Let's keep going. Now, this part, this last section altogether, this is very similar to what Vivian played, but I don't think it's exactly what he played. And I'll tell you the truth, on the tab that I've seen, because I'll do some research if I'm a little unsure about what's going on. Some of the fingerings on the tab are really wonky. I mean, I would never play some of the fingerings that are going on here. So, huge shout out to Angus Clark, who some of you may know from Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Great player, and I saw a cover of him playing this. He wasn't explaining what he was playing, but this is kind of what I took from what he did, and I thought it sounded really cool and very similar to what Vivian played. And it's a lot easier fingering. So thank you, Angus. All right, so as we get here, couple things is there's a pattern to this, and there's lots of pick harmonics. Surprise, surprise. Okay, so that's the first part we're going to look at. Slowing that down, we have 8-9 on the B, 10G. Sorry, 8-9, and then 8-9-8, quick hammer pull. Like that. Again, follow the tab. If I'm confusing you at all with all these notes and all these numbers, check the tab. Here we go. So it's 8-9B, then 8-9-8 with a hammer pull, still on the B string, then 10 on the G. So, and then we're going to go back to 9 on the B, and then 8-9-8 B. So, and then 10-8 on the G, and that's the pattern. And you're gonna sort of, I like to accent the B string for those pick harmonics on the 9th fret. Actually, either note on the B string. So you just want to keep this pattern going. There's 2 times, and then so 3 times total on that pattern. And then the last time we're going to go, that's 7-8 on the G, 7-8-7, and then 10D, and then 8 on the D twice. Okay, so why don't I do this? So let me play that lick all together, and then let me lead into that lick. Okay, and here's how you get to that lick is okay, then the next section. Okay, so a little different pattern here. And what's going on here is starting on the 8th fret, this time on the G string, and then going to the B string on the 9th fret, and then doing our hammer pull 8-9-8, and then pick 9-8. then go 10-8 on the G. Okay, so it's a slightly different pattern. So it'll be like this. Okay, so starting with that lick. Then we're gonna go is 11, 10, 8 on the high E, 11, 9, 8, 9 on the B. All right, so let's put all that together now. And by the way, this is kind of where I veered off from what Angus was doing. So again, Angus, thanks for those little sections there. But and also Angus played some of the stuff down here instead of like some of the positions that I was using. So I just kind of looked at what he was doing on this section because it's really hard to hear, and it's like I said, some of the tab was just really wonky. So here's what we have so far. And then we're going to play a fast lick here. Now on the recording, on the demo that I played, I'm not even sure what I played. But like I said, it matters mostly where you start and where you end. But the lick that I've written down for the tab is this. See, even there I just played it 2 times differently. But if you go by the tab, you're going to get really close to what Vivian played. It's 11, 10, 8. This is right out of the C natural minor scale. And then 11, 9, 8 on the B, and then repeat that. And then play 10 G, and then play a quick hammer pull, 8, 9, 8 on the B. 10, 8 G, slide back to 7. Then the ending. Okay, so let's do this. Let's take it from that previous big bend up here on the 17th fret, and then into this new section. Okay, and then the fast lick. You can pick or pull off some of this. When you come out on the 7, you're just going to climb up. So three hits on A. 3 hits on 8th fret G string. 3 hits on 10 on the G. 3 hits on 8 on the B. 3 hits on 11 on the B. And then 2 hits on 9. 3 hits on 9, but then pull off to 8 on the B, and then 10, 8 on the G. Bend 10 up a whole step. As you release it, come down to 8 on the G. As you release it, come down to 8. And then you're just going to play 7, 8, 7 on the G to end it, or which I think I did on the demo. Okay, so again, that whole last section, let's take it from here. And that's it, guys. Holy Diver. The solo was kind of a mystery to me for many years, just admiring it from a distance. But It's a great solo to learn. So much fun, really cool. Again, I took a few liberties here with my own little licks, and maybe you should do the same. The video footage that I saw with Vivian, I mean, he played from the live stuff. He would just play a whole different parts to these. So sometimes just keep a few of the same licks and didn't even play like some of the muting stuff. It was totally different. So just goes to show that, you know, this is the way it was recorded, and this is the way we remember it because we listened to it so many times. So it's great to get as close as we can, but also at the same time knowing that there's freedom and liberty to express yourself within this too. So I encourage you to do that. I'm going to include the jam track with this as well. I didn't mention that before. So check again in the description box. You'll see the tab, my own handwritten tab for this. The jam track and a free sweet picking guide, sweet picking boot camp. Enjoy. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Rock on.